Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Langholm Common Riding Concert and Investiture 2022. It's great to have a full house in here once again. The common riding atmosphere is building up nicely, and tonight we see things really gather pace. The hills and valleys surrounding Langholm have never looked better, and everything is set for a fabulous day on Friday. The most important part of tonight's concert is the investiture of Cornet Rory Hoodson and the presentations to semi-Jubilee Cornet Simon Wood and Jubilee Cornet Scott Morrison. These duties will be carried out once again by Michaela Maxwell. It now gives me great pleasure to hand you over to your compere for the evening, another new face in this job, Mr. John Innes.
Good evening everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Langholm Common Riding Concert and Investiture. It seems like we've been waiting an eternity for this moment to reoccur, an event which was placed on hold, or more of a forced subduement. The enthusiasm for this event to be held with the full spirit and gusto that it deserves has never wavered. And we're soon to hear the echoes of music, song, general huzzah, which have been muffled for 154 weeks, 1,078 days, 25,872 hours, 1,500,052, 320 minutes, or 93,139,200 seconds. Or translated in our own mother tongue, our bloody Lord. Everyone has a particular moment in the common riding period that signifies the end of proceedings and the beginning of the start. For a lot of you here tonight, I would think these next few hours will get your blood pumping and your toes tapping. And if we try really hard, we might even get you to shed a tear. There is one of two things that can start a common riding concert, and that is either the ring of pipes upon your ears or the echoing of brass instruments throughout this auditorium. This took 4 committees, 17 meetings, 46 hours to try and remember whose turn it was to go on first. It was decided that Langholm Pipe Band will entertain the company first. They'll play you 4 sets tonight. A 4-4, The Rose of Allendale, The Dawning of the Day and the Music of Spey. A 2-4, The Barren Rocks of Aden and Highland Laddie. A slow air, which is The Rose of Kelvin Grove. And a 4-4, Scotland the Brave, Rowan Tree, Bonnie Galloway, and Noa Wa to Baidawa. For we're Noa Wa to Baidawa, we're Noa Wa to lee you. For we're Noa Wa to Baidawa, will I come back and see you. So we hear half and another half, and then we'll hear another. When he got foo, he shouted, "Hoo! It's common riding forever." We wandered down the street again, we clicky and co-cheery. When John came home, his wife cried, "Shame! I see you're enjoying your hobby." So whenever friendly friends we meet, whenever Scots forgether, we'll raise our glass, we'll shout, "Hurroo! It's common riding forever." For we're Noa Wa to Baidawa, for we're Noa Wa to lee you, for we're Noa Wa to Baidawa, will I come back and see you. Ladies and gentlemen, under the instruction of Pipe Major Richard Henderson and Drum Sergeant Lenny the Legend Bell, BEM, please put your hands together for Langholm Pipe Band.
Ready. Roll. 1, 2. Okay, slowly, the Rose of Kelvin Grove. Pipers. Ready. Ready. 1, 2. Scotland the Brave set. Ready. Roll. 1, 2.
organisation and business in this town has struggled over the last couple of years, but all the bands need a next generation. We're lucky in Langholm to be blessed with great enthusiasm and talent, and we put 3 bands out on the streets, singers and speakers into functions, and fill committees with members to keep everything organised. So if you're interested in joining the band, either the Langholm Pipe Band or the Langholm Town Band, speak to a member, head to a practice, catch them on Facebook. You'll be welcomed with open arms. This year the Pipe Band have one of their youngsters doing just that. After much hard work under the instruction of Lenny, Finn McVitie is now taking to the streets for his first common riding procession in the band. He follows in the footsteps of his father and of his grandfather to join the ranks of the band this common riding day. Finn had his first march out at the pony ride out, and he's got some long marches ahead. The pipers will tell you that the length of the high street quadruples in length on common riding day. It's a long blah. I hope you enjoy yourself, Finn. I'm sure you will. There's a lot to enjoy. Cherish the next few days because they don't happen twice. Langholm Pipe Band is under the new management this year. Craig Irvin has stepped down from the post of Pipe Major after keeping the band in tune and in time for many years. Craig, as you would see tonight, is still playing with the band, and I'm sure the new Pipe Major will be glad of his presence for the occasional consultation. Richard Henderson will be taking his post in the front corner of the band as Pipe Major. Ricky's taken on many roles in the band: Pipe Sergeant, Drum Major, Stockman, and that's just a few I can say in public. Actually, there's a story about Craig and Ricky that is safe to tell you. Craig and Ricky visited America for the Tartan Day celebrations in New York. They came home and came to practice for the first time since their return from the Big Apple, and Lenny was asking them about their trip. Ricky says, "Americans are the rudest people in the world. For example, in New York City, we stayed in a fine hotel. We got an amazing view on the 13th floor. We paid a pretty penny. It was terrible. At 9 o'clock, there were people milling around in the hall, noisy and boisterous. I was trying to get to bed. At 10 o'clock, it was even worse. There was screams, shouting, people pounding on the door. At 11 o'clock, people were banging on the walls, and by midnight, they were pounding on the ceiling from the room above and on the floor from the room below. You'd never heard such a noise and such language." "What did you do?" Lenny said. "I hope you complained and asked for your money back." "No, we did nothing," Ricky answered. "We just mind our business, stayed in a room, and just kept on practicing our pipes." Our next entertainer of the evening will be no stranger to you. He's a well-known speaker and singer, and will have blessed every common riding event, both official and unofficial, in some way or another. He is the purveyor of all things news-related on the high street, and has a cared for every occasion. Ex-cornet Billy Young was elected to perform his official duties in 1984, and we welcome him to the stage this evening to sing "When Baldy Cried the Fair." Oh, phone call, is that for Mike? No? Mike maybe is for Mike, that answer. I'll wait till he answers it, because Billy won't run off his head. Sorted, I can see the light on now. We'll welcome him to the stage this evening to sing "When Baldy Cried the Fair" and "Hame o' Mine." Please welcome to the stage, Billy Young.
I walked the Mirchies 50 years, I kent the man and bin. The Merkersteins each turned our sod, and every pit and kin. As I walked he greet the dawn, on Langham's sacred day. He cast a nighty cowie's thorn, and led them on their way. When Baldy cried the fair, when Baldy cried the fair, a cheer ran round the muckle town, when Baldy cried the fair. A thrice-peaked hat upon his head, he always looked his best, wi' finey breeches blush and red to match his tailored vest. A lang drap coat and nebbed shoon, sae smert wi' stockings white. When Baldy had a job today, he liked to do it right. When Baldy cried the fair, when Baldy cried the fair, a cheer ran round the Buccleuch, when Baldy cried the fair. And when they stopped at Castle Craigs, preserving times o' yore, he cried the fair just like he did the simmer day afore. And marching back to Market Cross, wi' a band o' Langholm men, where Baldy climbed the ancient steps and cried the fair again. When Baldy cried the fair, when Baldy cried the fair, a cheer ran round the Buccleuch, when Baldy cried the fair. Away in the Northland, the land o' the mountain, there stands a wee house on the breast o' the brae. The streamlets run past like a clear crystal fountain. The lark in the sky sings an ear-haunting lay. Away in the wildwood, the red deer is bounding. The wind carries sweetly the scent o' the pine. Afar in the valley, the pibroch is sounding. That sings o' my childhood, that dear hame o' mine. Hame o' mine, hame o' mine, where I dwelt in lang syne. There's where my heart and my thoughts are forever, a wee thatched cottage, that dear hame o' mine. I sit and I gaze o'er the wide lonely prairie. There's naught meets the eye on that far stretching plain. In fancy I see through a mist dear Glengarry. In fancy I see that dear cot once again. Its walls shine like ivory, so dazzling their whiteness. The old thatched roof is unaltered by time. The rapids and prairie to me are delightless. Who give me that wee house, that dear hame o' mine, hame o' mine. cottage, that dear hame o' mine.
Thank you very much, Billy. Our next singer tonight is our youngest of the evening. However, you wouldn't know it from her mature singing voice. This week she's already sung at the Cornets Lunch at the Day Centre, and she's sung at a number of school events in the past. If you haven't heard Kayla before, I'm pretty certain this will not be your last time, and you'll see her featured in many a common writing event to come in future years. Please give her the very best of common writing order, singing The Rose of Allendale, Kayla McVitie. One word, absolutely outstanding. Next to the stage, we will welcome a former pipe major of Langholm Pipe Band. He formerly worked at Buccleuch Estates as a water bailiff, looking after various waters in and around Langholm. He's a member of the Royal Scottish Piper Society. He is the creator and artist for the cartoon that appears online on the Piping News website. He has also appeared in the book The Glorious Gentleman by Bruce Sanderson, where chapters were dedicated to men who have spent their lives working outdoors, on rivers and in the countryside. This accomplished piper has also written and published his own book of pipe tunes, From Scots Borderer to Ulster Scot. This was published in 2018. His music has appeared on the BBC Take the Floor radio show on more than one occasion. Have I mentioned that the next performer is also my father-in-law? Tonight, Ian Bell will perform 3 of his own tunes. And if you were to get his book, you will see that each of his tunes are inspired by a personal experience or relationship, which makes them all particularly special. The first tune he's going to play for you tonight is a 6/8 march, the Buccleuch. Locally known and remembered as a happy place for many people to go to. A tune of this title was commissioned to publicise the Langholm Moor and was featured on the BBC to promote the area. The Buccleuch is also where our salmon spawn in the winter. Next, a slow air, the Solway Tide. Ian spent much of his life from dusk till dawn working on salmon and sea trout protection in the Solway. It was the tranquil yet eerie ebb and flow of the tide which inspired this tune. This is one of his tunes from his book. And finally, we're going to hear a 4/4 march, the Queen's Nurse. This tune was commissioned by the Queen's Nurse Institute Scotland when Ian's daughter, my wife, Heather, was awarded the Queen's Nurse title in 2021. So without further ado, can we please welcome Ian Bell to the stage to entertain the company.
How do you follow that lassie? Wasn't she great, eh?
Thank you, Ian. What a glorious set of tunes. As we approach the official part of the evening, I'd like to give you a chance to reflect on this time of year and how your family and friends from years gone by would be experiencing the same feelings as you are right now. They will have stood in the same places that you will be standing. They will be walking the same route, and they will have sung the same songs. Although we all have family and friends sadly missed or unable to attend, we are all connected in our love for this great tradition. I'd like to read a poem entitled A Visit to Langholm Common Riding on White Top. It was written on the 27th of July, 1878, written by a local, James McVitie. It was originally published in his book, The Memoriam of Songs and of Cheers, From the Cradle to the Grave, 1893. I'd just like to thank Stuart Tedham for going to the effort of posting this for all to see. Yince mair thy mossy steps I climb, and chase the mist frae off thy brow, to gaze on scenes that aye are dear to every child of Esk I trow. I'll fill a bumper to the brim o' whitest purest mountain dew, and pledge the health o' Eskdale are her trusty shields and lassies true. It is the common riding morn, the cornet and his men steer, to cry the fair we beat a drum, and see if our march be clear. The good old tune keeps holiday, each face is blithesome, frank and free. The friends meet friends with happy smile, and gladsome tears de mony an ee. The lads that frae the vale hae strayed, and vowed in letters long and sweet, if spared to see the July fair, their darling sweethearts they would meet. Will please the old folks like to see these loyal lads and lassies braw, then breathe a blessing o'er our heads, and wish them married year and a'. And there they come frae yon sea, and ne'er hae hope to see again, but love for Eskdale's bonny braes, I brought them o'er the raging main. We tell o' each our troubles are, how fortune frowned and smiled a while, then visit scenes and hallowed spots, and for a season care beguile. And though we meet with strapping lads, or bright-eyed queens and deem them strange, yet Eskdale's woods and cellar streams, her homes and mountains never change. And when we hear Esk's famous band, to Willie's memory play sae sweet, that gem of Scotland's lyrics lays, it marks our hearts in sadness greet. And when John Irvine cries the fair, we laugh to see his foolish glee, but sign the notes o' Auld Lang Syne bring back to memory sad and way the many forms and faces kind that we on earth will see nae mair, and mind us the day draws nigh, we'll hear nae mair the Langholm fair. But there's a sight I wouldna miss, it a' my soul with pleasure fills, to see and hear the bairnies sing their hymns o' praise among the hills. O may their feet in pleasure's path I tread, and ne'er be led astray. May wisdom tench and virtue guide, until they reach through manhood's day. A day o' pleasure hae we spent, in alternating grief and joy, but sorrows, like the clouds, are lined with silver cords without alloy. We a' its faults I lue it still, that annual common riding day, my blessing on the head and hand, that works to gie a purer ray. Ayont auld Warbler's craggy peak, the sun has thrawn its tinted smile, the iron horse impatient breathes, to bear me off for mony a mile. I'm laith to gang, but duty calls, and true men must obey its call. I'll tell o' a' the friends I've met, and a' the things I've heard and saw. I'll now hand over to Common Riding Chairman Roger Maxwell, who will oversee the official investiture this evening.
We now come to the most important part of tonight's proceedings, the investiture of our cornet and presentations to our semi-jubilee and jubilee cornets. As I mentioned earlier, this ceremony is to be carried out by Michaela Maxwell. Michaela.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, here we are on the brink of the most anticipated Langholm Common Riding for a long time. The usual excitement that builds throughout the year has been crushed over the last 2 years, and we've had to jump off the normal carousel of life and stay safe. Thanks to the members of the Common Riding, we've had 2 very unique years and have continued to maintain our traditions by marking the town's boundaries. However, we are back in full force. Langholm Common Riding remains the landmark event of the year, and we are back to the old familiarities that give feelings that can't be explained. We are in touching distance from our big day, and I wish everyone who will be celebrating all the best. Make the most of our fantastic day. On the 13th of May 2022, Rudy Hodson was elected Langholm Cornet. Rudy was elected on first time standing, achieving his dream to represent the town. Having a family full of ex-cornets and common riding enthusiasts, it's no surprise that Rudy chose to follow in the footsteps of his dad Kevin, who was cornet in 1990, and also his uncle in 2000. Rudy has grown up a Langholm lad and has been a very familiar face on horseback. After his first time following the cornet at Buccleuch on his Shetland pony, Rudy joined the Castle Craigs Club in 2009. He first rode the common riding in 2013 and has continued to do so every year since. Rudy has also become a familiar face around the town, working with his dad as a builder, and he joined the retained fire service in January this year. The whole of the Hodson family have made the most of every second of this year by supporting Rudy at other border common ridings to witness what will be a year to remember. 7 years ago, along with his mum Wendy and sister Ellie, Rudy joined his dad on horseback as they celebrated Kevin's semi-jubilee. I'm sure the family have dreamt of the day coming when they can follow Rudy on horseback when he represents the town as cornet. This Friday, they will get that opportunity, when I'm sure their hearts will be bursting with pride to see Rudy as our 2022 cornet. A very special and unique memory for Rudy. Over the last few weeks, Rudy has done a remarkable job at other common ridings and our own ride-outs, all of which he has completed on his own horse. On Friday, he will again use his own horse to carry the borough standard round the boundaries of our land, making memories to last a lifetime. Cornet Rudy Hodson, on behalf of the members of the Common Riding, it gives me great pleasure to present you with your sash and riding crop. I congratulate you and wish you the best of luck on Friday. You can rest assured that when you set forward to carry out your duties with dignity and pride, you will have the whole support of the townspeople behind you.
Mr. Chairman, Michaela, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I would like to thank Michaela for investing me with this beautiful sash. I would also like to thank the Common Riding members for presenting me with this lovely riding crop. I will treasure them both for the rest of my life. Lastly, I would like to wish everyone an enjoyable common riding. Thank you.
In 1997, Simon Wood was elected Langholm Cornet. At the time, he was working as a warper for Reed and Taylor. Simon embraced his role as cornet and has gained many friends across the borders. He has remained an avid supporter and is a regular at other border common ridings, as well as relishing in our own common riding period. Simon first started riding horses in 1990, and he took the opportunity to follow the ride-outs in our common riding the following year in 1991. Simon joined the Castle Craigs Committee and was a member for a total of 14 years, giving back to something he has gained a lot of enjoyment from. One of Simon's most memorable moments from 1997 was election night. He explained that he could not believe that the people of Langholm had given him the honour to represent the town and be the cornet. It's obvious how special this was to Simon. This year, to mark his semi-jubilee, Simon is celebrated with friends and will be riding on horseback on Friday, when he will again carry the flag from Castle Craigs to Whitewell, a special memory which I'm sure he will treasure. Simon, it gives me great pleasure to present this beautiful nibby to you on behalf of the members of the Common Riding. I hope you have a memorable day on Friday. I congratulate you on achieving your semi-jubilee and hope you treasure the memories you'll make this year for many years to come.
Not that long. Michaela, thank you for your kind words and presenting me with a nibby. And the Common Riding Committee, thank you for the gift. My memories of 25 years ago is like Michaela said, the voting night. I could not believe the people of Langholm had given me this honour to be their cornet and represent the town. It was all a dream, like leading up to the great day at Langholm. And the Gallop of the Kirk Wine was one of them. But of course, the night, only few people can imagine what it's like. 3 horses and everybody dancing around you. The atmosphere is, well, I can't put it in words. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish our cornet, Rory, and his family the very best for Friday, and I know it'll be the best day of your life. I'd like to wish Jubilee Cornet Scott the best, for all the best for Friday. Hope it brings back many happy memories, Scott. And to everyone in Langholm, have a great day on Friday, because we're back with the best Common Riding. Thank you.
This year, Scott Morrison celebrates his Jubilee as cornet. Scott was elected cornet in 1972 with a large majority. He had followed the cornet regularly prior to this for many years, having ridden from the age of 12. Scott has fond memories of his time as cornet and having a great right and left to support him, as well as having his dad, mum and siblings all follow him on a horseback as he represented the town. The 1972 Common Riding was a special year for the family. Not only was Scott cornet, but his dad was celebrating his semi-jubilee, having carried the flag in 1947, a very unique occasion. After his time in the front 3, Scott followed his sister Kim to New Zealand and has remained there ever since. However, he has never become a stranger, and Scott has made sure he has been back for the Common Riding period on many occasions, and has been a very familiar face at the ride-outs and on Common Riding Day. Again, this year, Scott has been following our cornet on horseback at the Bounty, and will be doing the same on Friday to celebrate his special year as Jubilee Cornet. Scott has chosen a nibby as a token to mark his 50-year anniversary as cornet. Scott, I congratulate you on obtaining your Jubilee, and I am pleased to present this nibby to you on behalf of the members of the Common Riding, and hope you have a fantastic day on Friday.
Mr. Chairman, Michaela, ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to wish you all the very best and say thank you so much for your kind gifts and cards that I've received. And I'd like to wish Cornet Rory and family and the right and left all the very best for Friday, because I'm sure they'll enjoy it as much as I will. And great memories. And I'd like to just say, be kind to each other, not just for this week, but for the rest of the time. Enjoy Friday. Thank you so much.
That concludes this year's investiture and presentation ceremony. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Michaela for the gracious and dignified manner in which she carried out this very difficult job. Well done, Michaela. There will now be a short interval during which the bar will be opened, followed by the second half of the concert. Thank you.
band has been out and around the town many times in the last few days, and we'll see them and hear them, follow them, question what time they're coming, try and figure out where they're going next, and enjoy their perambulation several times before we wish them a farewell through a tear-blurred vision for another common riding year to the strains of Auld Lang Syne. This year, we watched the Queen mark her Platinum Jubilee. I'm sure she's seen some sights in her time, but little does she know that she's not the most important Platinum Jubilee celebrant this year. At band practice on the night that the King died and Elizabeth II became Queen, David Calvert was a timid tune band first-timer. 70 years later, 70? Is that right? It is. Thank you. I just questioned my maths there for a second, sorry. 70 years later, he still approaches the music with enthusiasm, energy, and emotion that makes him a top-class musician. I attended the Tune Band Sale of Work on Saturday. Having had no engagement since the dreaded COVID years, you can only imagine how much of a struggle for organisations like our bands it is to raise funds and enable new members to come and join them and learn and join the ranks of the band. It was amazing to see the bake sale was sold out in seconds, and when I entered there was a cloud of flour above the tables where the cakes once sat. The tombola had such a large queue that the Buccleuch Centre had to employ stewards in high-vis vests to manage them because there'd already been 2 fights over the bottle of sherry. There was an army of raffle ticket folders that were getting blistered because there was that many tickets bought. And at one point I thought Gordon Ramsay was back in the kitchen making the cream teas that were being served at such pace. It was a great event, which was at its pinnacle for me during the mini concert that the band put on, where I spent more time watching David Calvert, who was sat like royalty amongst his subjects, punching every beat of the tune and catching every rise and fall of each song with his hands and body movements. A true musician and a Langholm Town Band stalwart in every sense of the word. Let's hear it for David Calvert, everybody. So, to play us a selection of common riding airs, please welcome to the stage, Langholm Town Band.
One, two.
Well, that was a close call. We nearly missed that route. So as the band leaves the stage, I'm not sure if many of you were down at the tennis courts today to watch the Langholm play a common ride. We got how many people were there? There was a few people there. There was over 300 people attended the Langholm Playcare Common Riding today to watch its semi-jubilee year. 25 years the children's common riding's been happening down at the community centre at the tennis courts. It's a great event which makes sure that the young people of the town understand and learn about the traditions of the common riding. And after a 2-year drought of common riding spirit, it was a difficult job to make everybody aware of what was supposed to be happening and what songs to sing. And the staff did an amazing job to make sure that all the kids that were there had a great time. And I think by the photographs and the videos that are appearing on social media and that were taken, and I'm sure you'll all see them over the next few days, everybody did have a great time. It was a fantastic event. If you're not doing anything on Wednesday morning next year, I'm just making a rod for my own back because I MC that in as well. It's already hard enough with 300 folk. Please come down and watch it. Our next singer on the stage has been here before and at other various venues around the town. He's performed for LAODS several times as a strong member of the cast, and he has shown his prowess at both singing and recital at Burns events around the town. Robert Scott is an all-round musician, and he plays the pipes. He's played all over the place, but one of his more notable performances was in 2018, where he lifted the Scottish Championship in Grade 3B with the Scottish Borders Pipe Band. Tonight, however, he's going to sing, and we welcome him to the stage to give his renditions of Scotland Yet and O Are the Years.
I dearly love the way and mony a hill between. Both day and night my fancy's flight is ever wi' my Jean. I see her in the dewy floors, sae lovely, sweet and fair. I hear her voice in ilka bird, where music charms the air. There's no a bonny flower that springs by fountain shore green. There's no a bonny bird that sings, that minds me o' my Jean. O blow ye westland winds, blow soft among thy leafy trees, wi' gentle gale frae hill and dale, bring hame the laden bees, and bring the lassie back to me, that's aye neat and clean. Ye blink o' her would banish care, sae lovely is my Jean. What sighs and vows among the knowes hae passed atween us twa. How fain to meet, how way to part, the day she gaed awa'. The powers of ben can surely ken to whom the heart is seen. That main can be sae dear to me as my sweet lovely Jean. Gae bring my gate old Herlian's mare, gae bring it free and fast, and I mun sing another song ere all my glee be past. And trow ye as I sing, my lads, the burden o't shall be old Scotland's house and Scotland's knowes and Scotland's hills for me. I'll drink a cup to Scotland yet, wi' all the honours three. The heath waves wild upon her hills, and foaming frae the fells. Her fountains sing o' freedom still, as they dance in the dells. And we lie low the land, my lads, that's guarded by the sea. Old Scotland's vales and Scotland's dales and Scotland's hills for me. I'll drink a cup to Scotland yet, wi' all the honours three. The faithful wags upon her fields, where Wallace bore his blade, that gave her foeman's dearest blood to dye her old grey blade. And looking to the left, my lads, he sang this doughty glee. Old Scotland's right, and Scotland's might, and Scotland's hill Scotland yet, wi' all the honours three. They tell o' lands wi' brighter skies, where freedom's voice ne'er rang. Gie me the hills where Ossian lies, and Coila's minstrel song. For I've nae skill o' land, my lads, that can nae be free. Then Scotland's right, and Scotland's might, and Scotland's hills for me. I'll drink a cup to Scotland yet, wi' all the honours three. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Robert. That was wonderful. Our final artist to come to the stage and entertain you is engaged to be married to a previous performer. I am glad that we didn't change the order of the singers tonight. That could have put the cat amongst the pigeons for Billy. Robert and Rebecca completed a charity walk along Hadrian's Wall last September, raising £12,000 for Pancreatic Cancer UK. Robert got down on one knee to propose to Rebecca when they finished the walk, and thankfully she said yes. Rebecca is also an active member of the Burns circuit, and she can be seen singing at many a supper in the Burns season. She also regularly treads the boards on this stage with LAODS as well. Please welcome at the stage Rebecca Jackson singing My Borderland and Rowan Tree.
Tis not the rugged grandeur of my native Engadines, 'tis not the
In the final stages of this evening's concert, please welcome the company back to the stage to sing Bonnie Langham. As everyone makes their way back to the stage, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish you, the audience, the best of common ridings. This last Friday in July could be, for some members of our wholesome community, their first last Friday in July. If you see someone on the street looking lost, offer a word of advice or guide them in the right direction. Have we got the company on stage yet, or are they being they're overly absorbed with my words of glory? Have we got a company to join the stage yet? Ladies and gentlemen, the company singing Bonnie Langham.
Ladies and gentlemen, the singing of Bonnie Langham brings us to the end of the proceedings. I'm sure you'll agree with me when I say we have witnessed a fantastic concert this evening. There are many people who have helped make the concert such a success. Firstly, I must thank our two concert organisers, Glenn Cavers and Jamie Fletcher, who put a very entertaining concert together. We must thank Chris Jones and Veronica for the lighting and Beth Smith for the sound. We should also thank our accompanist, Gareth Black. Our compere, John Innes, did a grand job and kept things moving along nicely. Well done, John. Well done also to the town and pipe bands, who both gave a rousing performance. And every entertainer has performed to a very high standard. Thank you to one and all. Lastly, I'd like to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being such a good audience and making the job of the entertainers so much easier. I'm sure you will join with me in wishing Cornet Hoodson all the best for a great day on Friday. I hope you all have a great common riding. Thank you.